All right, guys, let's get to it, man. So, of course, the other day, the Los Angeles Lakers blew the doors off the Thunder, man. It was a spectacular game for them. Really was never in question the entire game. Well, I'm going to get into that today, but just wanted to see real quick if the media, of course, decided to go scorched earth and hail the Lakers as the supreme rulers of the land and commander-in-chief of everything, and there was never a doubt and blase. You know what these fanboys do whenever LeBron is involved, man. I will say again, Luka, incredible game. Austin Reeves, great game. LeBron, play like dog shit, is what it is. We'll get into that a little bit, but make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
The Pelicans, 35 against New Orleans. That's good. What was your takeaway from this game, bro? Your biggest
game, this weekend.
Well, you can say both. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean, nothing from New Orleans. Nothing. All right, that was their G League team. Everybody's hurt, but okay.
Bro, see, this is the thing, bro. The people like to talk about games like the Pelicans, and only the Lakers. It's only the Lakers that get prime time real estate in the media when it comes to beating teams that are basically worthless. Lakers beat the Jazz. What did you take away from this spectacular game? What? Lakers put a whooping on the Trailblazers. Are they ready to win a championship? Like, they really have these segments that are basically pointless, but they only have them because of their boo thing, LeBron James. And it's kind of ridiculous. Don't get me wrong. I've been a Laker fan, and I know how toxic it could get, so a lot of the conversation comes from just being the Lakers. But this type of stuff is ridiculous, man. Let's put everything into context like we're supposed to, right? That Pelicans game, a wash. Just another game on the record sheet. And even if they won by 50, really wouldn't matter because at the end of the day, the Pelicans ain't going nowhere. They're not championship contenders. I've always been saying to you guys for a while now, what really matters about the Lakers is how do they fare against the teams that actually matter. The Celtics, the Cavs, the Thunder, right? The Warriors. When they play these teams, what happens? Do they win? And if they do win, is it a convincing win? You feel me?
OKC, I don't know how you couldn't be impressed because OKC had every reason to lay it all on the line. All right, they needed to send a message, in my book, to the Los Angeles Lakers, to themselves, because Luka put them out of the playoffs last year. Mm-hmm. All right, even though
he's so right. They needed to prove to the Lakers that they were the team that they've been all season long. They needed to let LeBron know. He really said this on live TV, y'all. He said they needed to prove to the Lakers. What do they need to prove to the Lakers? When's the last time the Lakers been to the finals? When was that? 2020, right? It's been 5 seasons. What do they need to prove to this old-ass team with this old-ass man on it who don't play no defense? When is the last time the Lakers stopped the Thunder from doing anything? Matter of fact, when's the last time LeBron stopped anybody from doing anything? Everybody has eaten on LeBron's watch. What is this man talking about? They needed to prove what to the Lakers? That they are who they are. This was a test of their mettle to prove that they were the greatest ever. I will say this. They got blown out. I watched that entire game. And my takeaway from it was that the Thunder looked really tired. Fatigued like a mug. The Lakers obviously came to play. And Luka Doncic is a monster. What I saw him do just in the first, second, and even parts of the third quarter it was spectacular. I enjoyed watching it. What I also took from that game is LeBron is one of the biggest stat patterns I've ever seen. I'm probably going to do another video just breaking that down itself. But all this man had 10 points, right? First quarter, I think he had 10 points. Second quarter, he still had like 10 points. He didn't score. He was just on the floor, not playing defense. Every time they took LeBron out, they go up and be up by 30 points. The moment they put this man back in, the lead would drop down to below 20 points. He was giving up so many open lane layups, so many 3-point shots that and you could tell the Thunder knew as soon as LeBron got back in, okay, it's our time to make a comeback. So they would fight even hard. They would put themselves in position where LeBron is the help man. So if Reeves is guarding them, LeBron is, once they get by Reeves, they only have to go through LeBron, and LeBron moves out the way every single time. He doesn't want to help at all, and then he'll sit there and cuss out Reeves or somebody else and say it's their fault. So basically, they knew what they were doing, and then they would have to put Luka back in, and then the lead would go back up. This is just basically what I saw from that game. On top of the fact that Chet Holmgren he was really ass. Did not even attempt to really get any rebounds. Kept getting boxed out, and the Lakers had a bunch of second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth chance points on the night. They kept getting rebound after rebound. They kept stopping their offense because they were getting those rebounds. It was incredible to watch. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great game for the Lakers. But, you know, if all of a sudden now we're going to say they'll beat OKC in a 7-game series and they're the greatest team since sliced bread, and then they'll knock out the Celtics as well just because they got Luka, let's pump the brakes on that.
OKC had the number 1 seed, and then LeBron James is LeBron James. And so if they had beaten them,
right.
And they were at
Yeah, you're right. He's LeBron James. He's ass, doesn't play defense, doesn't help his team at whatsoever. He's actually a nuisance. Even if you look at his plus minus, I think he was like a +5 or something like that, while Luka was like in the 20s throughout the entire game. I actually stopped looking at the stats like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, but I was looking at him the entire time. They put on a show. LeBron got in the way. Is what it is.
And then LeBron James is LeBron James. And so if they had beaten them, and they were at home where they had the best record in the league, Lakers haven't been a good road team. You're coming off a loss to Houston, so you know you want to get some get back, as they say, and get rid of that loss, get that taste out of your mouth. And they got...
Damn, I'm not going to lie. I don't watch these shows as much, but, bro, Chris Broussard is looking old. Damn. Just on the side note, this man's age is starting to kick in, brother. Man.
Blasted. And the thing about the Lakers, we've always gone back and forth on the defense. Nobody's worried. Now that we've seen Luka and LeBron can work together offensively, nobody's really worried about that.
Oh, I don't know,
man.
It's the defense. Dallas won that trade. Anthony Davis, they're going to be in the conference finals.
But so defensively, though, they played great against OKC, hold them to 43% shooting. Great against Denver a month ago when they beat them 40% shooting. Those are 2 top 5 offenses. Houston, when they just beat them, held them to 41% shooting. When they need to defend, J.J. Redick comes up with a scheme. They go all in, and they defend well. So,
you know, when he says it like that, like, it's cool if you're the Kansas City Chiefs. You just need to win one game. And, you know, Andy Reid comes up with some type of scheme to trick the defense. Has anybody ever done that in a 7-game series in a playoffs? Like, you might be able to steal a game using trickery, but to win 4 out of the 7, come on, bro. That's something that's not going to be conducive when it comes to the playoffs. If all you're doing is using trickery in the hopes to win.
Awesome for the Lakers. And Nick, if I'm Redick, I would sit LeBron and Luka for this next game
100%.
And let OKC just sit there. If we meet them in the playoffs, they gotta. These guys pummeled us last time.
This was
stupid. Run away. This is what I don't like about this generation, y'all. Like, this shit right here, bro. When people say dumb shit like this, so you beat them and blew them out, right? Now you run and hide behind a rock when it's time for them to come to your home. Your home, they coming to Hollywood, right? You don't want the smoke now? Oh, no, we won, and we run out? That's whole shit, bro. That's the only shit that LeBron James would do. I've never heard Kobe. You've never heard Jordan or anybody else run from the smoke. The fact that the media can even say this shit with all confidence lets you know this is the league that LeBron built full of cowards, snakes, people who trade you, smile in your face, trade you behind your back. This is the shit I got. This is the problem I got with this league, bro. And the fact that he just said that, like that just came out of his mouth. That's the hoest shit I've ever heard. You got 2 games with the Thunder. You just going to give 1 game away. Never mind the standings, by the way, because losing 1 game for the Lakers can be the difference between them being the 3rd seed or the 6th seed. Easily. That's how close the standings is. Let them lose this game and then start the next game out of rhythm because they lost this game. And watch them be the 6th seed. Just like that. And this dude has the nerve to say the most cowardice shit I've heard in a while. This is why I stopped watching a lot of shows like this, bro. When I was younger, it was entertaining. They gave you some of the knowledge that you needed for basketball, but you knew it was all narrative driven, had nothing to really do with the games once you started watching the games. What is this man talking about? His job is to market players. Players over other players. That's all they're doing, marketing the players. And now you see when these players don't live up to the expectation that these guys build up for them, right? When they don't live up to the expectation, you get people like LeBron James. This is the shit that you get, bro. And then you get cowardly moves like this, which somehow, some way, this is okay in today's NBA. To just run from the smoke, sit down a game. Don't sit here and tell me it's about LeBron's age. He don't even have to do the bulk of the offense. He fires up like 22, 23 shots because he wants to. He doesn't need to. This team can run just fine without him. And Luka has a bulk of the offense and ball handling as it is. Come on, bro.
When I said that on Friday.
And another thing, the man don't play no damn defense. So really, what is he really doing out there? Outside of trying to get photo op opportunities while dunking or hitting a block.
Guys,
Yeah, I like that.
So this was, when I said that on Friday, when we did must win, and I said the Lakers had to beat the Pelicans, and you're dismissing it because the Pelicans are a bad team, understandably. But the Lakers have been bad against bad teams. Like that, you know what I mean? That was a game that they ended up blowing them out, but it was...
Okay, but whose fault is that, though? Why are the Lakers bad against bad teams? Don't sit here and tell me it's because of the talent on their roster. Don't say it's Jackson Hayes' fault. The Lakers are bad against bad teams because they have one person who always gets in their way. That's LeBron Ramon James. His lack of defense, his lack of help, his lack of hustle, his lack of heart is the reason why the Lakers are always bad against bad teams. His lack of consistency as well. That's just what he does. This team is very talented, and I would die on that hill, letting y'all know that the Lakers have a team that is top 3 in talent. Who else has a third man that's as good as Austin Reeves outside of the Celtics? What other teams has a player who can honestly get you 30 or 40 points on any given night? He could drop 40 on any given night. Give him the ball. And it's what, his 3rd, 4th year in the league? Bro, who else has a player as good as Austin Reeves? Nobody. Plays great team defense. Not a great defensive player. Plays great team defense. Come on, bro. Let's stop with the nonsense. LeBron is the only thing holding this team back. This is why they can lose to a Trailblazer or a Utah Jazz on a random day. And then on top of that, Luka is getting used to the system. Don't get me wrong, it's Luka's first year, and then he came in out of shape. And honestly, we've seen Luka come in out of shape before for the Mavs. We don't know what he's going to do in October. Is he going to come back in fat, play his way into shape, or is he going to take it serious this time? We don't know. What we do know is that LeBron James is the only reason why this team loses against bad teams. That and injuries.
I think tied right, shortly after halftime, right? And I said they had to win that game, and they had to win Sunday so they could sit guys Tuesday. Because the Lakers, if they win 2 of their final 4, they get the 3 seed. and that is gold. It's not because the Rockets are bad or anything like that. It's just that is the spot you want to be in, and I just think going all out on Tuesday, you can go all out and lose to OKC, and then when the Mavs are fully rested, having not played since Saturday, and they don't play till Wednesday.
Honestly, the reason why that 3 seed would be important to me, and I know the games are only different by a few wins here or there, but the reason why it's important is because no team outside of the 3 seed has ever won a championship outside of the 94 Rockets. 1, 2, and 3 seeds only win championships. The Lakers are the 4th, 5th, and 6th seed. I would say go put money down that they don't make it to the finals, and that they don't win a championship. You should put money down on that anyway, because they're not going to win a championship this year. But I would for sure, with all confidence, say put your money down. There's really no help, because for them to win would mean that it's an anomaly of a season. And we've never seen that before. Again, you guys could look this shit up yourself. So the 3 seed does matter for them. I still think it'll be a hell of a series. I see the Lakers playing the Warriors in the 2nd round and the Thunder in the 3rd round. And honestly, I see the Warriors. If it was anybody who could get out the West that wasn't the Thunder, I think it has to be the Warriors, bro. Nuclear Jimmy Butler is just crazy, man. And then Steph Curry is a winner in nature. He's just a winner. He's the best player on the floor whenever you have a series, most of the time. And then you got Draymond Green. Like, again, he should win, or he's going to be very close to winning Defensive Player of the Year this year. So, and we see what Steph Curry does whenever he gets a small forward. And then you got Pods and other people who can shoot threes for you at the 2. If it's me, I'll probably say the Warriors get out if it's not the Thunder. That's just my opinion. Every time Steph Curry wins a championship, he has a team built somewhat similar to the team that he has right now. Every time that he wins.
Then all of a sudden, if you lose that one, then you go into a game against Houston that you have to win, and then have to win game 82. So I definitely would sit the guys and say we're going to beat Dallas, and then if we beat Houston, we can rest game 82. If we lose to Houston, we have to beat the Blazers in game 82. If we don't do it, we don't deserve the 3 seed anyway. My bigger picture takeaway, Wilds, is I think this is the scariest team in the West. And I think if you're OKC, what reason do you have to believe that you have any way to slow down Luka Doncic? What can you point to in your team's history that says we have a plan for this guy? And
that I agree with 100%. I do think that the Lakers can be, as far as dark horse scary, because that's basically what he's trying to say, come out the blue and can whoop you. I would give it to the Lakers just because I've seen Luka Doncic in the playoffs. If it wasn't for Luka, because LeBron is going to get in their way. He's going to have great spurts where he plays and hustle hard and plays defense, because that's just what he does in the playoffs. But then he's going to have a lot of inconsistent moments. And Luka Doncic, I've seen him beat teams that he had no business beating, and figuring out ways to do it, or going nuclear in the 3rd quarter and dropping 15, 20, 25 points. And then just disperses it, and his team gets hot because of the way he's playing. I've seen it too many times. He's made role players look like stars. So it's like, that's the only thing. It has nothing to do with LeBron, but mostly just Luka. And then on top of that, how Austin Reeves has been this year. So as far as like a dark horse out the blue Western Conference can come and steal it from everybody and catch everybody slipping, it would have to be the Lakers. I don't see another team that does that. As far as true contenders, though, like proving their mettle, should win, it has to be the Thunder and the Warriors.
My answer is they don't. There is nothing that he beat. He had success against them in the regular season this year. He beat them in 6 last year in the playoffs. And so I know you have been a Lakers skeptic, and I know that we can attribute some of the blowout, or a lot of the blowout, to them hitting threes. But the Thunder scoring 67 points through 3 quarters, and Luka having his way with the defense again, none of that is because of 3-point variance. Like, what's your biggest takeaway for the Lakers?
I think it's only fair, and you can push back on it if you want, that I take extreme one-game examples, and I kind of put them to the side. So when they were terrible against the Warriors from 3 and Luka was awful, I was take
honestly just love everything that he said, and I got to rewind it because of that commercial, but let me go back.
Like, what's your biggest takeaway for the Lakers?
I think it's only fair, and you can push back on it if you want, that I take extreme one-game examples and I kind of put them to the side. So when they were terrible against the Warriors from 3 and Luka was awful, I was like, you know what? There's only so much we can say that I'm not going to say Luka's bad. And when they set a franchise record for threes and shoot 68% from beyond the arc in the first half, I'm like, all right, I think I kind of take both of these, one bad game, one great game, and kind of put them aside.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. Bro, Wild said it perfectly, bro. They just got their asses stomped by the Warriors, and that's the biggest thing about the mainstream media. They just got stomped by the Warriors, right? Sweep that under the rug. Doesn't matter. Feel through game. Luka was kind of bad. He won't be bad in the series. Then all of a sudden, Herculean performance, a historic highs in threes, right? Just a Herculean performance by the Lakers. Stomp out the Thunder, probably the worst loss they suffered all year, right? The team who should have won 70 is probably going to win 68 games this year, right? Oh, there was no doubt. The Lakers, I mean, if I'm the Thunder, I'm terrified. Like, how do you beat the Lakers in a 7-game series? How is it possible? Lakers for the championship. What the fuck, bro? This is the damn mainstream media that we listen to nowadays, bro. This is what people are talking about. You got to, like he said, you take both those games and put them to the side. Now, if the Lakers played the Warriors and they got blown out all 4 games this year, and they had the same team, because I know they traded for Anthony Davis, then you sit there and you go, okay, son, they're going to lose. They're going to lose when they play them. Now, if it was vice versa and they beat the Thunder all 4 games this year, then you would say they got an advantage over the Thunder. But none of that is true. None of that is true. Blowouts happen all the time in this NBA that we're in nowadays. The current NBA, blowouts happen all the time. When you start looking at prior NBA, a blowout was unheard of and was, disrespectful in Shaq and Kobe's era because of how much the defense was there. Blowouts happen all the time. Everybody's shooting threes. You get me? So how do you take a game that the Thunder lost and say, okay, if they play the Thunder, and they play them today. They play them today, so we really get to find out. But how do you say, oh, the Thunder have no chance? Oh, the biggest takeaway is Luka. Who's the Luka stopper? Who's the Luka stopper? This is the first time that they've played Luka Doncic on the Lakers. They had to adjust to everything. And on top of that, Luka caught fire. He doesn't catch fire like this. As great as he is, he doesn't catch fire like this all the time. Neither does Austin Reeves. And damn sure LeBron, that's the only consistent that he's going to look shitty and then pad his stats when the going is good in the end of the third or fourth quarter. You guys should have seen some of the bullshit LeBron was forcing up to try to get buckets. Shots he had, fadeaways he had no business shooting on 2 defenders. Air ball, brick. Turnover, bad passes. When they gave him the ball at the end of the third, he was forcing bullshits to try to pad stats because he had like 10 points. He was like, I got to get to 20, got to look good. Garbage time points that you guys herald and market to people who are just, I don't want to say stupid, but just are unaware of what they're really watching. I'm going to leave that here, and I got part 2 coming right now.